Man, we are back at it again. This is like what the fourth time this week y'all get to see me. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, I have an absolute mega proper superstar in the house today, Dylan Yeaton. But before we get into this, Yelton, sorry, I just messed up your name again. It's the heat. My AC's out. Look, he's like, yeah, there we go. This episode is sponsored by Next Level Financial. Take control of your financial future. Get your complimentary financial analysis today by Seth Starnes. And yeah, Dylan, man. It's been a long time coming, buddy. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, man, it's a pleasure to be on here, man.
Man, listen, the honor is absolutely all mine, man. We have a lot to talk about. This hour's going to go by so fast. Let's just jump right into it. Dylan, where did your whole journey begin on the beautiful twos?
Man, I got a late start. I didn't start riding until I was in my teens, and it was a birthday gift. I got one of those Coleman, like 212 Predator mini bikes, and just started tearing up the backyard. And it wasn't until I was 13, 14 that my dad, he used to ride back in the day. He had a couple bikes back in college and when he was growing up, and he gave it up when he had a family. So the time came, he bought I think it was like a 1998 Kawasaki Eliminator. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that bike, man, but it's a 600cc inline four and a cruiser chassis. And dude, I just thought that was the coolest thing. So, he would take me for rides, and I'd ride on the back and cruise around, and I fell in love with motorcycles and just being out on the road. But it wasn't until a lot later that I actually started to ride them myself, as far as like a full size bike.
Yeah. Yeah, that's always the beginning of every journey is dad and son, right? Or dad and daughter, right? Get into motorcycles. My dad did the same thing with me, man. He was a fighter pilot, so he was gone a lot. But when he was in town, he had a man, I remember it was a Suzuki GS something. I can't remember what it was. I was 2, 3 years old. Everybody looked for me. Where's Chris at? I'm out there freaking done opened up the screen door trying to crawl on the motorcycles. And all I would say is ride, ride, ride. Anybody want to ride? Let's ride, right? Um, yeah, so I feel you on that. So, you did start later on in life, which is perfectly fine. There's plenty of superstars that start later on in life, right? Was it what around high school, after high school when you bought your first street bike?
Yeah, so I inherited my dad's. So he sold the Eliminator and he bought a Kawasaki Vulcan 750. And so I inherited that, and I was 15, 16 by the time I decided to pull it out of the garage and figure out how to ride it. So I rode that for a couple years. I rode it to school. I think I was a junior or a senior at the time. Dude, I thought that was the coolest thing, right? But doing that, yeah, dude, I was playing football at the time. I quit my senior year of football because I wanted to get a job and start saving up. I started watching these YouTube videos, seeing guys doing stand-up wheelies and pulls in the highway. And at the time, I was like, "Oh, that's the pinnacle. Like that's as cool as it can be, right? I want to be one of those guys, right?" So
I want
started
to be that
working.
squid. Let's go.
Exactly, exactly.
Let me order my squid t-shirt right now.
So I saved up money and got on Craigslist, and I was 17 or 18 by the time I saved up enough money. And it was a 2004 R6, first year fuel injection. I still remember it like it was yesterday, dude. Driving that there, riding it to school, and cruising around town. It was a good time till it wasn't. But that's
Right.
typically how those squid stories go, right? The first go around.
That's how it always happens, right? We get our first proper bike. We think we're freaking Valentino, right? And then we go out there and we think we're the fastest thing on the street because we win a couple races, drag races. It's not even racing, right? You're out there just messing around with your friends. And then, when the first time you get your leather suit, of course, it's going to be off the rack, right? Back then,
Hmm.
you put it on, you feel like a god. Like I'm Thor, I'm Superman. I got it all covered. You guys are destroyed, right? And you show up to your first track day, and they hand you with your orange T-shirt before your first race this big ass pie, and you're thinking to yourself, "Why are you handing me this pie?" Oh, because you're gonna get a whole shitload of that out here on the track today, right? Oh,
I remember the test ride, like when I went to the dude's house and he's like, "You know how to ride, right?" And I'm thinking to myself, like, barely, but yeah.
I got this.
Yep, I took it down the road, and I remember the first time I cracked it open. I was like, oh, it's like, yep, it's mine. I'm taking it home. So my
You're like,
mom drove me out there,
trouble
and
now.
I could just see the look on her face driving home next to her in the lane. Just sorry, mom. So,
Bad.
yep,
Yep.
yeah, but it was yeah, man, it changed my life. It's crazy.
You know, it's funny, and I say it all the time. It's like motorcycles choose you. You don't choose motorcycles. Whatever point in your life you are, that they choose you. Because when they do, you fall so deeply in love with it, and you don't understand how broke you're going to be for one, right? And everything you're going to put into it for two, and you're just going to be so diehard in love with the sport, like that's all you think about, right? It totally consumes you, obviously, like it still does with you and me and everybody else. So it's. I remember my mom too. I was like, I got a car, um, had it like 2 weeks, totaled it, freaking high school. Got my driver's license the week later. Got my motorcycle license. I already had a car. It was a 1982 freaking Honda something. Blah blah blah. Anyway, saved up my money, man. Went out and bought a brand new 1996 ZX6R. My mom was pissed because she didn't want me to get it. Right. My dad went with me. He co-signed the loan. Put the down payment on it. Right? Yeah, dude, let's go. Right. Yeah, man. And yeah, she was pissed, man. She's like, well, what are you going to do when it rains? I'm like, I'll freaking get wet. What are you talking about? What are you going to do when it's cold? I was like, I guess I have to buy a jacket. And because I didn't know shit about it, right? Let's just be honest. I knew the sports bikes. I didn't know the proper gear or any of that.
hmm
Yeah, man. And that's where my,
Gardener's Gardener's gloves.
right, the little white jersey gloves and all that. Yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
I'm cool. You ain't cool, man. You ain't cool at all.
God, dude, it wasn't until a whole lot later that I was at like a car meet or something, and some guy was like, "Yo, you ever like ride twisties?" I'm like, "What's that? What are you talking about? Ride twisties?" He's like, "Meet me, it was like Saturday at 2 o'clock. Like, meet me at this gas station. Where I'll take you out. We'll ride some back roads together." And I saw this dude. I still remember it was like a 2008 Gixxer 750 with no slip on, no pipe at all. Like, it was just a mid pipe blown out. I was like, oh man, that thing sounds so good, right? But I remember seeing him, start taking corners or whatever, and I was like, man, I didn't realize that these bikes could do that. And then the next thing was like, I wanna get good at this. Like I really like this because I still remember like I tried to follow him. I about ended up in the guardrail after like three corners, right? I'm like, man, I gotta lock in and like kind of figure this out, right? So yeah, that just launched a whole obsession, like you said, and it just follows you for life.
It does, man. It does. And at the time, you don't realize it until you're 10 years deep into it, four credit cards that are completely maxed out. You have a shit ton of money on it. And you think back and you're like, fuck, what a journey so far, right? I wouldn't change none of it, not one of it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, man, I do. We actually got a couple comments already coming in. Rhino Racing, what is up, Ryan? My man, dude. He says, good to see you on the pod, bud. I'll see you at Mid Ohio for a tow.
dude, he's a solid dude, man. I'd such a bummer what happened at Road America. He's been
Yeah.
putting in so much work and really just bust his butt. So I think Mid Ohio is going to treat him well, though. I'm really excited for him and excited to ride with him too.
Oh yeah, he's absolutely amazing. If you guys missed that episode, I had him on. Go by and check it out. It was absolutely proper mega, as I always say. He really is a good dude. We was talking about boxed macaroni and cheese. Ron, did you try any of that boxed macaroni and cheese I suggested for you? I don't eat a lot of the processed food, but I told him, dude, that there's the Cheetos brand macaroni and cheese, bro, bangs. I ain't gonna lie. It does. It's so good. You know, we was talking about it. So anyway, and then we got another one, Chris Elliott, another legend in the house. What is up, brother, man? You know Chris? Have you met Chris?
I think I've seen him at the track, but I don't know that we've ever had a conversation.
Okay. All right. Well, next time we're all together, I'm gonna introduce y'all to. He's absolutely an amazing human being. He's super
What's up,
cool.
Creeth?
Yep. Absolutely proper mega fast. So Anthony, we got Anthony in the house. How can I not be depressed if it rains at Mid Ohio next week? How can I reframe my brain?
Dude, rain's an opportunity.
Dude, you just that you got to be smooth, but you just take the brain out and just set it to the side and go out there and do this, but gently and smoothly and all that, and then come back with a smile and put the brain back in, and you're good to go. That's
Very
how I
true.
do
Very
it. just,
true.
just leave it all here. Here, hold this. So like, what is that? It's my imaginary brain. I'll be back for it in about 20 minutes. Uh, that's awesome. Yeah, it is supposed to rain. It's supposed to rain at VR this weekend too. But again, that's part of the game. I always like the rain. I love to ride in the rain on the street. It taught me so much, and I never realized how much it taught me. And it'd be pouring rain. I'm like, dude, let's go ride. They're like, dude, it's raining. I'm like, okay, you sound like my mom right now. Like, what is it? Are you gonna drown? Like, I don't, you gonna melt? Let's go, right? The sound of the rain hitting you on your helmet, the sound of the bike, the smell, and then you start pushing yourself. Obviously, see how far you can actually brake, how hard and how hard you can get on the gas, and yeah, man. And then once you get on the track first time in the rain, I was scared shitless, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Was you?
Dude, I think somebody told me a long time ago, they were saying something to the effect of like, if you're fast in the wet, you'll be fast in the dry. But being fast in the dry does not mean you'll be fast in the wet.
No,
But you learn to get those like small adjustments and to be smooth with controls. It's such a valuable tool. I love it. I haven't had a whole lot of time on the thousand in the rain, but I did it for the first time at Road Atlanta with Wira, and it was incredible. I was having a blast. I wasn't going fast, but it felt awesome to kind of face the demon.
face the demon, chase him instead of him chasing you. You turn around, you're like, ah, I'm gonna chase you now, right? See what it
You,
feels like.
you got to pick the things that scare you, man. Crush them.
Yeah, dude, facts, dude. I'm a firm believer of that. Now, I tell this story real quick. I was scared of heights, bro. Like, I wouldn't climb a tree. I wouldn't get on top of a roof. I don't care if it's 10 feet off the ground. I ain't getting up there. But what's crazy is I would jump off a bridge into water, right? Like, I don't know, because I love to swim, right? And jumping off a bridge into water, I felt safe, I guess is what it is. So, in order to come over my fear of heights, I went skydiving. You know what I mean? And now
Rock
when I
and
get
roll.
hot, huh?
Rock and roll, man.
Rock and roll. That's it, man. Wing it, dude. Hey, you got to be all in. You got to be all in. You got to take those chances in order to progress. So
That's right.
so street bike R6 first year fuel injected. How did you learn about the track?
Well, I went through two bikes before the third one finally took me to the track. So I crashed the R6, put it back together, rode it for a little while, sold it, bought a Gixxer 600, right? And I ended up having a pretty nasty one on the street. And then I hung it up for about a year, year and a half. And after that, I bought another street bike for myself, which was this one was a 636, it was a 2015. I rode that around for a while, and then I met some friends that did track days, and we got to talking about it, and they talked me into it. So I went, got the suit, figured I'd check it out. This was almost 10 years ago, and yeah, I was hooked. And then I still remember this guy named Jesse. I think he was a coach back for, maybe it was SCT, like way back in the day. This was at Putnam, and we were, it is again my first novice track day, and he comes to me after the fact and was like, "Hey man, you ever think about like racing bikes or like you ever think about like competing or anything like that?" And I'm thinking, this guy's like messing with me, right? Because I'm out there terrified. So, we talked about it a little bit, and I was like, I could never even fathom what that would take, or what that would look like, or how I would even go about doing that. So, kind of put a pin in it. Just kept kind of showing up to track days that this and that, and again, just the more that I got involved in the industry, I was working at a dealership a bit after that, and the more just the more I was around it and meeting people and talking about it, I found my way. And really good friend of mine, Tim Banish. I don't know if you know him and his son Eli. But Eli's
Yep.
crushing it, and Tim actually asked me to come with him to Groton for a WIRA event to get my uh, provisional license. And they had two mostly identical Ninja 250s. And Eli rode the one, and he said, "Look, man," he's like, "I got a second bike. Bring it up there, get your license, check it out." And I mean, that was awesome. That was so much fun. And again, it's like one of those things, you just take it to that next level, and you're hooked, and you want to learn all about it and try to absorb as much as you can. And yeah, it was on from there. And actually, Ryan, who commented earlier, he was at one of the first couple novice 600 races back in 2019 or 2020, and we met back then, and we've kind of kept in touch since. But um, Yeah, I did a lot of like club stuff out in the Midwest, and then eventually started doing more and more. I think my first or second season after that, I got bumped to expert, and some good friends of mine that I met doing mini moto. Um, we I guess we should get into that. So we we started my friend Ross started this series, or at least expanded it from Michigan. They were kind of doing that for a couple of years up there, but he brought it down to the Cincinnati area where they would rent out the like full throttle karting, indoor go kart tracks. They'd rent them out Sunday mornings before they open, and we'd ride hopped up CRF 50s with slick tires on them. And that's how I met Super Carl. I don't know if you know
I know.
Mr.
Yeah,
Carl, yeah,
that's
but
my home. Yeah, that's my dude
yeah.
right there.
So got to riding with those guys, and yeah, just kept progressing. And I met do you know Jimmy Vanderhaar, Derek
Jimmy.
Bell?
Mm-mm.
So Jimmy's a wild man, dude. He's ridden the TT. He used to race for either with or against Vezra back in the day. I mean, he was like big time, and he
Well,
had
if he
the
raced the
itch to,
TT, he's a god
yeah, dude, wild,
for real.
absolutely insane. But he wanted to do an endurance team. He missed it. He's like, I want to set something up. Him and Derek Bell hit me up and said, hey, we want to do the 4 hour middle weight. So put a bike together, started doing that, and just spinning endless laps, man. I think that our first season we came out with a second place in the first round against. I mean, the competition was tough. Um, so yeah, dude, it just kind of snowballed.
It's usually how it happens, right? It just
Hmm.
snowballs in. You get. I remember my first track day, man, showing up. Man, I was nervous as shit. I didn't know what to expect. Yeah, I had my boots, my leathers, and all blah blah blah. But as far as I remember going up and being like, dude, you need to safety wire your bike, and I was like, what the hell is safety wire? What are you talking about? Yeah, can you show me, please? Yeah, well, what are you talking about? It's and I think when it comes to new track day riders, a lot of that adds pressure to them, right? When it shouldn't be no pressure at all, especially on your first track day event.
Yeah.
There's just so much going on mentally with it too, as well. Um, Not want to show up and embarrass yourself. Just all that stigma that goes along with it. But when you finally show up and you meet the people and the beautiful circus, as I always call it,
Oh yeah.
it's like I'm home away from home. All that worries went away except for the safety wire thing, right? I was still like, hey man, can you help me do this? I have no idea what you're talking about, right? And so, dude, again, I had people come over there and they got it done, past tech, and I got out there and did my thing. So it was yeah, that it's like the first time you get a suit, the first time you drag your knee, because that's obviously what you want to do, because then you're I guess cool kid, right, on this elite status. Well, at least you think you're elite. You're not elite, right? Let's just be honest. That first time you hit it and it goes, and you're like, oh
Whoa.
shit, what was that? What did
Oh.
I just drove when you come in and pitch all your boys. You're like, yeah, look at this, look what I did. Like, I ain't in there yet. And you're like, oh, because you're slow, all that, everything that goes along with it. Man, those were the days, man. That's what I loved about
Absolutely.
club racing, man. It was just laid back, chill, not high stress, just kind of just let's just go and have fun.
I'll tell you what, man. Like my one of my favorite things to do. I coach with Fastline Track Days, which they're an awesome group, by the way. Chris and Becky are just fantastic people, and they've supported me this year, and I just can't be thankful enough for their help. But I'll tell you what, those experiences, those first times to witness that as a coach, like just being around it, these first time people that come and check it out and try it, and the look on their face, and like the first knee down, the first this, the first that, like I remember those times for myself, and seeing other people enjoy that for the first time, seeing a light bulb come on. We talk about a couple different things. It's kind of like going through those first times like that to me is super rewarding. I love doing that.
Would you say you get the same satisfaction almost as actually racing yourself?
It's close for sure. Yeah, I love sharing the hobby and the sport with others, especially if they have not like ever heard of it, never seen it, never tried it, and it's a whole new world, because that's what it was like for me. It's a whole new world. I had no idea, never even knew it existed. So
Until you do, and then it's over,
until you
basically.
and then it's everything, and then it's all
It's
you can think about.
bro, game over. That's it. Everything's done. Like I said, 4 credit cards, blah 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 blah. Yeah, man, dude. I sold when I first started racing in Phoenix. I had a Jeep Wrangler. It was a '93. Um, Sold it. Bought a mountain bike. Rode it 10 miles to school. Rode it to work. Freaking rented a U-Haul if I couldn't borrow a vehicle to go do track days or club racing. Right. I get it, dude. I really get it, man. It's one of those I don't want to call it a disease, but it's man, if it
It's an
was, it'd be the
addiction.
best disease ever, right? Let's just be honest. So um Ryan actually commented again. Ryan says, "Thanks, man. Haven't been there yet, so you're gonna have to show me the way around." And yes, I did try some. Got the Cheetos on deck. Let's
Yeah.
go. Yeah. Cree says, "What's up, Dylan? We'll come chat at VIR." So yeah, we'll all be at VIR, and yeah, man. I'll introduce y'all to. He's absolutely his dad's amazing. His mom, yeah, man. It's good people. Brennan Triplet, what is up, my man? VR this weekend? Yes, sir. I'm going down there for Azra, and then the following weekend's Precision Track Days. I'm going down there to meet a couple of my buddies, and I'm gonna bring my laptop and set up and interview some of the coaches and stuff down there live at the track. Man, I just think it'd be cool. Just do something different, right? I actually got invited, so yeah, I got to go do it. It's
Cool.
good.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
for
man,
you,
it's
man.
gonna be fun. Absolutely gonna be fun. So obviously, we're here. The fever's done completely set in like a zombie bite. You're zombified with 2 wheels, right? One question. Now, I thought about it as we were talking earlier. You said you got in your second wreck, so you took a year and a half off, right? During that year and a half off, I know you missed riding, right? And you thought about it. But did the motorcycle call you and say, Dylan, I miss you, baby. Please come back. Dylan, right? And you're like, quit calling me, right? Just stop. And then all of a sudden you're like, yeah, baby, I'm coming back. I'll be there in
That's
10 minutes.
exactly how it went.
I knew it. I
Exactly how it
knew it.
went.
Oh, man, I
No, I
love
was
it.
like, maybe I'll give cars a swing. I'll build a
Oh, even
like a
more money.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm gonna get a Mustang GT. And I'm gonna put exhaust on it and 410 gears in it. And I'm gonna do burnout. And, that was cool for like 5 minutes, and then you know,
Until you go buy your
I
first set of tires and you're like, $800. Yeah, for
yeah,
sale.
yeah. So yeah, no, it's one of those things, man. I try to explain it, but unless you're part of it, unless you do it, you just you wouldn't.
Yeah, it's funny because you have we have all types of people in that ride motorcycles, right? We got them that like them and just commute on them. You might watch racing. You got racing fans that show up. They might watch it on TV, but maybe some would rather just see it live, and that's the only time they really watch it or care about it. And you got the true fans that watch it, subscribe to the app, and show up at the races they then go. And then you got the ones that live it, breathe it, sleep it every day, all day, like this guy and this guy right here, and everybody else tuning in right now, right? It's again, I say it all the time. That's why I say motorcycles choose us. We don't choose it, right? First time, it's happened to a lot of my friends. They'll go out, they'll get in a wreck, and I just leave them alone, right? Because they're scared. They don't want to face that demon again. Yeah, so that's why I say motorcycles choose us, and when they do, it's game over.
That's
So,
right, man. So
I want to talk about your coaching, man. How did that happen, and what was that transition like? And I want to know your first day showing up to be the coach for the first time. Was it kind of like showing up to your first track day, all nervous, right? Like I don't know if I might suck at this. I don't want to suck at this. All that good stuff.
it was interesting for sure. Chris and I have known each other for a long time. He's local to me, so we got to talking, and the topic came up, and he offered me to come out and try it. So yeah, it was definitely different. Trying to dial it all back again and go back to baby steps, and but I think again, kind of like what I talked about. Like I really enjoy seeing that come on. So if I'm able to break something down or explain something or walk somebody through an approach to a corner or whatever it might be, and if I can talk them through that. But I gotta admit, man, the first couple times doing it, it's it's difficult to level set, or at least it was in the beginning, and to try to you know really understand, like, back again, where is it coming from, what's the what's the blocker. So, but it's what I do professionally is kind of lead and mentor and kind of make things happen. So I got to apply some of those skills and make those relationships. And I think that's part of I mean, honestly, it's the whole reason why I am where I am doing what I'm doing is because of the relationships that I've built and the connections I've made and the networking. So I just try to continue that forward and pay it forward and make those same connections and be a resource. So if anybody needs anything, any questions, I've got, friends that will hit me up at 1 o'clock in the morning with a motorcycle question. I'm going to answer, right? It's just how it is, because if I didn't have those people in my life that were there and available and willing to help, I wouldn't be able to do it. So I want to, just keep it going.
Yeah, dude, I feel you on that, man. And that's all part of giving back to the sport that's given you so much and also helping the sport grow, right? In a way. So
Absolutely.
getting people to the track and not only getting them to the track, but convincing them, hey, man, let's get your race license, go ahead and do some club racing, start out. I'm a big fan of endurance racing. I think that's the best bang for the buck, best seat time. Plus, I think endurance races teaches you a lot more than just your normal club race. And the reason why I say that is I'm bigger and heavier than you. You're smaller and lighter than me. I like my clip-ons this. You like your clip-ons like this. So we do a happy medium. So now you learning to ride this bike fast. That's not properly set up for you in a comfortable way, right?
Yeah.
And then when you get back on your bike, that's your beautiful princess, right? It all makes sense. Like you learn so much, and you're like, man, I just cut off how much of my lap time? Like that really worked. And that all, and I'm a big fan of mini bike racing, like what you do,
Yeah.
right? That's
Hmm.
best bang for the buck, most fun in the world, low speeds, but you learn so much riding that little motorcycle. It tells you everything.
Yeah. I mean, just the adaptability, right? Like you learn to make the best out of what you got.
Yeah.
I mean, those bitty bikes don't have suspension on them. They don't have super cool slick tires, but you go from riding a hunk of junk to, whatever it is that you're putting on the track, big bike wise, and you're like, all right, now I'm spoiled. Like now this thing's great. I'm gonna, rock and roll. And yeah, you just learn to appreciate the the ability of what that bike can really do. It still blows my mind to this day how it physically works. It just doesn't make sense.
It don't, but it's so fun, right? Yeah, it's so fun.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, mini bike racing is something that I really want to get big into here soon. Just because it's cheap, it's affordable, it's
dude, come
tons of
check it
fun.
out.
I
You
will.
say the word, we'll get you on a bike.
All right, I'll come out there, spend the weekend with you, and we'll make it happen
Let's
for
do it.
sure. What state you live in again?
I'm in Kentucky, but
Oh,
I'm 10 minutes south of Cincinnati, so, and that's where the track is there,
okay, yeah.
north side.
I think I'm about 6 hours from you.
So worth it.
Oh, dude, I drive. So where I live, VR is an hour and like 20, 30 minutes, depending on traffic. Mid Ohio, Jersey, and Atlanta is 6 hours away. Daytona is 10 hours away. So I'm kind of in this happy medium, like little bubble location where I'm at. So Paul Pendergrass, what is up, bro? He says, somebody say mini bikes.
Yeah.
Let's go. Oh man. So how did you and Paul meet? Do you know Paul?
Um,
I asked that question
I,
without you knowing if you knew Paul.
I'm so bad with names. I'd have to see his face. We may
Okay.
have. If he's into mini bikes, there's a good chance we know each other.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he was at Cycle Jam when we were there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, man. Yeah, he's big into mini bike. Yeah, matter of fact, from my memory, Paul, he just went out and raced his Benelli TNT, and then rode it to the store, and I guess picked up some hamburgers or something. I don't know, maybe some beer. I don't know. Oh man, Anthony says you can ride our extra 50 if you need to borrow one to try it out. I- Dude, I'm coming, man. Me and Dylan are gonna make this happen. So
That's what I love about it, man.
100%.
There's always a seat.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's willing to get you involved, so it's
It,
good.
it it's funny because I've never drug my elbow on. I'm not gonna say on purpose naturally, right? Usually when that happens, my shoulder follows, and then my hip and my back, and I'm watching my bike go one direction. So it's my best Jorge Martin impression I've ever done, right? And I've done it several times, more times than I'm willing to say, right? So in high siding, yeah, I've done that several times too myself. So what was it like for the first time you drug your elbow? Was it like the first time you drug your knee? Unexpected?
it was kind of yeah, it was kind of like dragging your knee on steroids.
I
It's a
bet.
definitely like a mind blowing thing. Also, like how is this even possible? But I think when I did it for the first time, I was, yeah, they do like the tweezer reach where you're like really, really going for it.
Yeah.
So I was super uncomfortable, but just that slight little, I was like, oh yes.
You're like, let's go. Sorry, I got my puppy in here, man, and she's over here chewing on my shoe. I'm gonna beat you with my shoe, girl. Give me my shoe back. Look, man, she in here chewing my shoes, man. Look at that. You got any dogs, Dylan?
Nope, just me, solo dolo.
I got two dogs. They're both in here, but I gotta keep my eye on you, girl. You need to get your dog on me.
I want one. I've been throwing around the idea, man, but with all the traveling I do, I would feel bad to
Take him with
bring
you.
him.
Take him or her with you.
We could work something out. We'll see.
Yeah, man. That's
We'll see.
man. So I had a dog. I had a dog. I got dogs. I've always had dogs, but my first dog I got, her name was Honey. She moved out to Phoenix with me. Obviously, I took her with me. She was 6 months old at the time, dude. She was the type of dog I could walk her with no leash. I took her to the track with me, dude. She'd lay there. I'd go off and ride, come back through a session. She'd be right there. Or people would come by, loving all over, giving her food and all this shit, right? Yeah, dude. It's. Sometimes I feel like us humans don't deserve dogs. I'll put it to you like that. So they are absolutely amazing. So going from club racing, now you're into coaching, Moto America, bro. What made you decide you like, you know what? I'm going Moto America racing.
Honestly, I we had a really good couple endurance seasons, and I was doing all right in club racing, and it's been a dream of mine since I was doing it, at the track day thing. So I went to Road America as a spectator, and then did the track day on a Monday. But I still remember watching the superbikes go by, and I'm like, dude, I want to do that one day. Like I want to try that, whatever it takes. So I just, I kept working at it, and got enough pace that I thought I could, at least hang with the big dogs and share a grid with them, and threw my hat in the ring. I was really fortunate in 23 when SureTech reached out, and this was a buddy that I had known for a long time. We had ridden on the street way back in the day, and he was in a position to help out, and he kind of was the launching pad, got me on the track, and made it happen. So without his support that year, I wouldn't have been able to do it. So, and especially the years after, the support from him and GP Motor Sales, and Apex and LNS. I mean, those are that's the reason why I'm able to do it. And they believed in me, I believed in me. We do it together, and I guess that's all she wrote.
I love it, man. I love it. So this is your second season in Moto America?
So technically the third, but
Okay.
first in Stock Thousand.
Okay. Growing into Moto America, your very first season, was you super nervous, super anxious, kind of like your first club race you showed up to?
It's weird, man, because like it doesn't matter what kind of race it is, I still get butterflies. Like no matter what, it could be a mini bike race, it could be Wira, whatever it is. Until the lights go out or the flag drops, like you know what I mean? Like it's just that those butterflies. But as soon as that happens, clear head, let's go. Like that's it. But I will tell you, um, my first ever event was definitely definitely awe inspiring. So like practice Q1, Q2, watching the top guys, rip on through. But at the same time, it was kind of encouraging because I was like, okay, well, this is possible. Like, the bike can do that. I probably can't, but at least I know that the ceiling is really high. So it just gave me, it was inspiring to me to know that the potential to get that good and to go that fast was possible out there somewhere somehow.
It's all right here, homie. You got this. It's all right here. You got it right. It's yeah, man. It's Moto America is a beautiful circus, right? We all love it. It's absolutely amazing. Third season, man. It's abs. Congratulations, Dylan. Yeah, look at that smile. Look at it. Yeah, I love it, man. Let's go. I love the Nikki Hayden flag in the background. Let's go.
You bet,
Uh,
man.
yeah, man.
So I still haven't done a full season. We just kind of do rounds that are close, rounds that, tracks I've been to before. And really, honestly, I mean, in the budget, that's kind of what makes sense all around. But I would absolutely love to do a full season one year. So we'll see what happens, man. I'm looking forward to what happens in 26, though.
Me too, man. Can we talk about 26 right now?
Man, there's some stuff in the works. I'm excited about it. It's gonna be super cool. I'm cheesing, but nothing's set in stone. So we'll have to just wait and see, I guess.
Good. Why the R1?
Well, I wish I could say it was as simple as the sound.
You must made spit up my drink.
Oh man. So well, I mean, but honestly, I rode an R6 for a long time, and they always say the R1 is just a faster, better R6. So it turns really well, accelerates off the corner. Part of it too is that parts are available. There's tons of data out there on these things. They've been in development for 10 years now, this gen. So um, obviously I drool over the Ducatis and BMWs and some of these other exotic bikes, but just kind of the R1 was the Swiss Army knife between affordability and handling and power and all that stuff. It just and I really always have had a soft spot for that crossplane, man. It's just so freaking good. So
Good. Thank you, Valentino, for choosing the cross plane crank back in '04. Thank you very much, right? Because it is a beautiful sounding machine. 110%. Yeah. And there, dude, it's a beautiful bike. It's funny. You said that when you said that, man, it's the same bike for 10 years. I'm like, shit. Back in the glory day, heyday of uh Moto America AMA Superbike, man, they were turning out new models every 2 years, every 3 years. Right now, it's like it's stagnant, kind of, except for your other brands like Ducati and BMW that are throwing massive amounts of money to it. I mean, shit, the GSXR ain't been. It's been a long time since that bike's been revised.
well, the RMZ is still a kickstart, and that's all you need to know.
And the DRZ, the new 400,
It's still carbureted.
is still carbureted, right? No, it's not. No, it's
Oh,
actually fuel injected now. Yeah, yeah,
oh, okay, all
yeah,
right,
yeah,
all
yeah. The
right.
new
They threw
finally
they threw a wild card at us.
they did, man. Finally, thank you, Suzuki. Right? That's hilarious. But I feel like as far as the future of the sport goes, Dylan, how do you see it? Do you see the 600 Super Sport class being the major class in the future, and super bikes kind of being second fiddle?
I know what my heart tells me, and I know what my brain tells me.
Well,
But
tell me both versions. What's both versions?
well, moving to stock thousand, obviously I'm a little biased. I want to see thousands do well and continue on. I think they're fire breathing animals, and I love watching them go by. So my heart hopes that they stay in business. And with Honda releasing this Fireblade and putting some contingency dollars towards the classes, and BMW's doing a lot of work, Ducati, even Cowie somewhat recently has got a somewhat of a new revision, right? So I don't know, that makes me hopeful that it'll stick around, but I think that the 599 is for sure dead, unfortunately. But this new middleweight classes, there's a lot of people with a lot of different opinions about how the balancing shakes out and how fair it really is, and how is it really actually feasible to make them fair against one another. But I think at least for the spectator, I mean, it's cool. You get to see different engine configurations, different sounds, different brands. You get to pick a team, pick a side, and kind of, you know, especially the R9 coming out. That's a whole new chassis for them to develop and work on. And Skoltz and Davis and Jake and all these guys, I mean, they're doing well with it. So as far as to watch, I think in order for Superbike to stick around, though, I think that we're gonna, we will probably need Suzuki and some of the other brands to step up a little bit and give them some competition, because watching the same team or the same brand win every weekend, say what you will. I mean, I like I like seeing some of my favorite guys win, but I do want to see a fight. I want to see a contest. If you go into a race weekend already kind of having a feeling who's going to take it, where's the excitement? Yeah, I want it to be anybody's race. and that's just I mean, but that's my opinion about racing in general too. I feel the same way about F1,
Yeah.
IndyCar, things like that. You want to see the battles. You want to see that gritty rivalry going on. So you know, we won't get too far
Facts.
into that, but you know what I'm talking about. You know
Dude,
what I mean?
I do. And that's why I love BSB so much, man. Every race is an epic battle. It's
It's
absolutely,
scrappy.
bro, it's beautiful, right? And you guys can watch it for free. You guys hear me say it all the time. Bennett'sBritishSuperbikes.com. There you go. You're welcome. Enjoy. They show it live
Yeah,
for free. It is, yeah, man. It's absolutely
dude,
amazing.
the tracks that they race on with the power that these things make, the tracks that they race on. I always kind of liken it to like a driveway. Like they're hauling ass on a driveway surface. Like what are you doing?
With no traction control, no
With
anti,
no
none of that.
TC.
Yep.
There's a lot of tracks that are wide open, right? And there's also a lot of tracks like just in general, I'm saying there's tracks that are wide open and there's what I like to call big balls tracks because
Like Cadwell
sometimes
Park.
yeah, I mean, it's the guy who's gonna hold it wide open, and not everyone's willing to do that. So
100%.
it is cool to watch that shake out and see who wants it the most.
It is. And you know what I miss in motorcycle racing? I want to see it come back so bad. More than anything is rivalry. I want to see the
Yes,
shit talking. I want to see the rivalry. I want to see the hate. I want to see the despise. I want to see it all. That's what brings us here. That's why we love the sport, right? It's like
it's
now
a
everybody's
it.
listen, I like the friends, right? But man, we need that rivalry. We need that during the interview. You shut like Troy Heffross and James the other day, right? You guys seen it on social media. He's like, yeah, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Dude, that's what we need. We need
Yeah,
that in the sport. Bring it back, right? Forget all the hugs and the kisses and all that, all that. Let's go.
dude. I mean, motorcycle racing is a very emotionally intense thing, and I think that there's a lot of pressure externally, which I get it. There's a lot of pressure to soften it up and to be PC and keep it what it is. And I think there's room for both, right? I think that you can have manners
Agreed.
and maintain respect, but also, kind of let some of those true raw emotions show through. And like you said, man, that's what people want. I mean, I like seeing it. I like watching it. I'm sure everybody else does too.
Bro,
So
you're glued to it. You're like, dude, and then you're texting all your friends, bro, check this clip out. Look
yeah,
at
did
this.
you
We're like,
see
oh
what so
shit,
and so
let's go.
did?
Yeah, dude, that's
Exactly. Yeah.
bro.
I,
We need it
I'm
back.
an advocate. Make it real. At
Make it
least,
real.
maybe don't exact right, but like at least be real with it and say what you want to say and speak how how you really feel.
Who
And
cares if it
you'll be
pisses them off? Who
right.
cares?
We're not there to we're there to win
Be
races, right?
make
So
friends. Go on and say it. You get ready to say it, man. I'll say it for you. We're not. Yeah, we are, but dude, this is
I have a lot
competition.
of friends in the paddock, right? But when we're on the track, we're
It's
not friends.
no.
We're competitors. I have respect for you, right?
Yeah.
But in that moment, we can joke about it afterwards. But yeah,
In
I'm
that
gonna put a
moment,
wheel there, and I expect you to put one right back.
and Leonidas against a 300 person. Let's go, right? Like, yeah, I'm gonna cut your head off real quick, and then smile. Yeah, later. It's. So let me ask you this, man. You know, you how do you separate the two? How do you separate the friends from the competition? Is that a struggle for you?
No, I don't think so, man. I have equal respect for everybody on track. But I'll tell you so this was back in Pittsburgh in Supersport, and it was I guess it was my second round, second event with Moto America, and we go down the hill at Pittsburgh, a first lap off the start, and we're going down into I guess that's what is that 5 at the bottom of the hill where it's like real sharp, steep
Yeah.
downhill. And I'm thinking to myself, all right, it's the first lap. I just want to get through the first couple turns and kind of let the race play out and develop, and then I'll start, doing whatever I got to do and start, making moves, make some passes, whatever it might be. And I still remember I got split on both sides. Somebody went up my inside and my outside at the same time, and I'm just left there sitting on top of the bike, and I'm like, all right. Like the tenacity is just a whole other level at the pro level. So I don't, but that was kind of a wake up call. I was like, dude,
Yeah.
you're not here to be friendly, gentle, and kind. You're here to put the bike as far as you can put it.
Yeah.
So obviously within reason, with trying to remain
Yeah.
sportsmanlike and
Yeah.
XYZ. But when it's time to go, it's time to go. So that's
Yeah.
all you got to do.
And when they come by, all of a sudden you look down your tank, you had two pieces of pie. You're like, where'd they come from? Wait, hold up, guys. No. Yeah, man, we all been there, dude. So my buddy Daniel Shoemakes up in the house. What is up, Daniel? He says, everyone take two shots. Simcoe mentioned BSB and Cadwell Park. Facts. Oh man, I love it, dude. Have you met my buddy Daniel Shoemake? He lives in out there where you are too.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah,
Saw him at NCM this past weekend.
yeah, he's awesome. Love me
Mhm.
some Daniel. He's actually going to be doing. I ain't gonna say it. You guys will just stay tuned. Yeah, man, it's it's. I find that having so many friends around the world in this beautiful circus, right? That some of them, they're like you. Hey, I don't have an issue. We could be friends afterwards, but we're on the track. I don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just gonna beat you. End of story. Don't care. Like I'm gonna die for this shit, right? Um, then I have friends that they just don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't want to talk to them. I don't want to talk to her. I don't want nobody around. I'm here just to beat everybody, pack my shit, and go home, right? But that's I think with certain people, that's how they have to be in order for them to be in that right headspace to do what they need to do to go fast, right? To turn that switch on.
Dude, I just had a conversation with somebody about this after race two at Road America. He was telling me, he said, it's like, I don't want to know you. I don't want to be friends with you because I may not throw that pass up the inside if I know that it's you. He's
Yep.
like, so that's why I keep to myself, whatever, this and that. And I was like, dude, I get it.
Yep.
You know, if that's what you have to do to operate, man, like it is what it is. So,
Yep.
at the end of the day, like at the same time though, like for me, I recognize that I'm not at the level where this is my career. So, um, you want to make sure that you go to work on Monday too. So there's that fine tuning of finding that line of, is this risk worth it? Is this pass gonna net something that is gonna make a difference in the long run, or but we're out there to have fun, and to me, battling is fun. I love
The
getting into
battle.
battles. Yeah, man, it's the best part of it. If I show up and I get first, second, third, fourth, whatever, but I was all by myself, I'm gonna come off the track like, oh, okay, that was cool. If I'm in 24th place, which is what happened at the last round, but I battled the whole time and we were throwing shots and taking chances and having a good time, like that is what makes me get up in the morning, man.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's Bobby Davies and I. He's a really cool dude, but Bobby Davies and I Saturday probably exchanged, I don't know, 4 or 5 times in a matter of 4 laps, like just back and forth trading, and honestly, we kind of I think like piggybacked, like where I would get in his draft, he'd pull me down, and vice versa, and yeah, dude, like it's what it's all about. I dream about the battles and the back and forth and the yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's dude, it's what it's about. What do you think Top Rat going to MotoGP?
Some people say, man, I'm
That,
split. I'm
y'all heard
split
that? Y'all heard that like like damn it, Simcoe, why'd you ask me that?
because it's such a middle line, right? Like I know that it's a dream of his, and I would love to see what he can do. Um, I just hope that he's able to gel with that bike. I hope it's a competitive machine for him because I know that he's got what it takes, but some people would also argue that it's a career killer for him. But honestly, at this point, he's achieved what he's achieved and he's happy with that. He's willing to take the chance, try it. I love that for him. If I were in his position and I got an opportunity, I don't care what I'm doing. Somebody says, "Hey, you want to go ride MotoGP? See ya.
Man, I'm
I'm
all
out.
in. That's
Let's
it.
do it."
Dogs for sale. You come by Dylan's house, dogs for sale, everything's for sale. Let's go. I'm not coming back. Oh man. We got Zach Beaven. What is up, Zach? He says Dylan is the man. Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
What is up, Beaver?
Beaver, I like it. He says, I try to get you when I rode the EBR.
EBR is such a cool bike, man.
Dude, listen, I've been a fan of the EBR. I love the hammerhead. Man, it's such a beautiful, beautiful machine, right? And how fucking cool is it that we got an American superbike? Like, let's just be
Yep.
honest, right? Like, How can you
Bring
not
it
love it?
back. Bring
Bring
it
it
back.
back. Oh, here. Yeah, let's go. I love it, man. I freaking love it, Dylan. Well, listen, bro, we're almost an hour into this, man. This has been a proper mega really good time. I want to transition into, one of my favorite parts of the podcast where I'll get to know you on a personal level, right? But one question I do have for you before we get into that is, dude, the TT, did you watch the TT at all?
I haven't yet.
Oh, bro,
I haven't yet. I
bro,
need to.
you just broke my heart. Podcast
I
is over.
know.
Bye. No, I'm just playing. Podcast is in. Bye, bye. Damn. Um,
Click.
yeah, it's this is how I rank motorcycle racing: the Isle of Man TT, then production racing, BSB, and then everything else below it. Those are my two top categories in the entire world. First
Talk
time I
about
seen the TT, bro, I fell so deeply in love with it. It was just it blew my mind. I was like, dude, they really do like this is fucking insane. Are you kidding me right now? And yeah, man, it's
top bucket list, man. I want to go see that live. I want to
I
be.
I will go see that live. And it's not I'm
I want to
gonna,
be
it's
there.
I will be there, right? I'm gonna be that crazy fan where I'm like 2 inches away as they're doing. Yeah, bro. I'll die for this shit. Like straight up, dude. I'll be that fan that dies at the TT. Yeah, I'm dead serious, right? And I told my wife, I said, if anything happens and I don't end up making it while I'm breathing, burn me, whatever, just send me out to the TT. I don't care where you leave me, dump me. I don't care if it's in a pasture or wherever. I just want to be on the island. That's it. It's got so much history, and how lucky are we in our lifetime to have witnessed Joey Dunlop back in the day, and then his nephew Michael come and just take the mantle and get the most TT wins in history. And it's yeah,
How long do you think it's going to go on for?
man. I hope it goes on till I take my last breath. To
You
be
think?
honest with you, yeah,
You
dude, I
think?
do,
You think it
man.
will?
I honestly, Dylan, I really do. I mean, shit, dude, it's been going on since 1907. Why stop now? That's a long time,
I know, but man, the speeds are just. I mean,
bro. I mean, dude,
I'm
back when
I'm
they
not
first, go ahead.
I'm not. By no means am I saying that they should not continue. Like I think they should continue, right? But it is getting a little crazy. I mean, but that's what makes it so cool, right?
I
But
love it.
dude,
I love
dude,
it, dude. You can't listen.
oh,
Nobody will ever deter me. This is how I say it. Look, when we sign up for whatever it is, skydiving, racing, car racing, whatever it is, we know the risk we take, right?
it
Some
is.
some sports are more risky than others, right? But I think that's what separates it. And that's what separates we often use the word alien, Mark Marquez, Valentino Rossi, yada yada, make doing. To me, the real aliens is every woman and man that race the TT. Those are the absolute aliens of the sport. Because you can take a guy or girl that races the TT and then go race BSB, World Superbike, Moto America, Moto GP, whatever, right? But you'll never see a Moto GP rider go, yeah, I'm gonna go race the TT. It just don't happen, right? I think there's levels to this shit, right? And it that is the ultimate level, the ultimate sacrifice. And unfortunately, we know what happens, and it does happen, whether you're club racing, Moto America racing, whatever, it happens, right? But what a beautiful thing. And
What do they say? It's like the most extreme practice or the most extreme exercise of free will or something like that. Like the fact that
dude,
you made a decision to haul your body through the air willingly, nobody forced you to do it because you loved it.
bro, this is two-wheel racing in general. Like that just sums it up, right? So I have a question for you, man. I'm a fan of MotoGP. Obviously, you're a fan of MotoGP too, as well. So, what year and what track was the first Grand Prix race held at, which is now MotoGP?
Oh man, I'm gonna guess Silverstone. I couldn't tell you what year though.
It was in 1949 at the Isle of Man TT.
MotoGP, the first year was Isle of Man. Really?
Yep,
That's a cool fact. I didn't know that.
yep, yep. So it wasn't called MotoGP then. it was Grand Prix racing, and then it went into
Yeah.
500 Grand Prix, 250s, 125s, and then obviously, now the new era is MotoGP. But yeah, they used to be on the calendar up until, man, I forgot. I'm gonna have to go back and look. I don't want to say year, but Barry Sheen and Giacomo Agostini and all them, they were like, nah, we don't want to race. That it's just too dangerous for the that side of racing. So had obviously separated, right? So yeah, man, for sure. Well, listen, let me ask you this, bro. What's for dinner tonight?
And that's a fantastic question. My priority when I got off work was to get ready to talk to you. So as soon as we get off here, we'll figure it out. I'm thinking, I don't know, man. Feeling grilled chicken though. Sounds good. Grilled chicken, veggies.
Do you cook at home?
Not as much as I want to. I did solid every single day for a very long time, but lately I've been off of it. I tried Factor for a little bit. That was all right. Um, but plan is to get that back rocking and rolling here soon.
Man, I need to get you on some chef eats, homie.
Dude, speaking of which, I just saw Jeff, solid guy as well,
Bro,
and tried
legend.
his food. Tried his food, changed my life.
Yeah.
Had no
Dude,
idea that it could be that good. So,
dude, I listen. I tell everybody, and people ask me that we heard you talk about chef eats. I'm like, dude, like my buddy Cole King. I told him I was like, bro, you need to get you some chef eats for real. I know what it's like.
yep.
You show up to the track, you got to bring a grill. Dude, you ain't got to do none of that. Order you some chef eats, bring a microwave. That's all you
Yep.
need. And
Hmm.
dude, the steak is tender. The pork's, dude, bro. Yeah. So yeah, chef eats. You guys can use the discount code pin the gas and save 10%. So what are you waiting on? Go and order, man. Yeah, dude, his food is, and he is an absolutely amazing human being. I I met him one time. It was not this past year, but last year at Road Atlanta when I was there with my good buddy Ryan Wolf. Big shout out to Ryan Wolf and the whole Wolf Pack gang for life. Let's go, right? Yeah, I met Jeff there. He rode up to me on the pitch. He's like, Simcoe. And I turned around, we gave a hug. He got a picture and then he took off. And I didn't see him the rest of the weekend, but it happens like that during the race weekend, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, man. Uh, do you like spicy food?
To a level, to a
To a
level.
level.
I do like Thai. I'll
I
I'll mess
love
up some
Thai
Thai
food,
food.
bro.
Yep.
Dude, Indian food, Greek food, Thai food, dude. That's all you got to say. I'm in Cafe Asia. Let's go. Like,
I'm right there.
bro, 110%. What's your worst habit, Dylan?
Ooh, what is my worst habit? I got a couple of them, Chris. I'll be honest with you.
We all
I'm an
do.
overthinker, man. I think I sometimes I overanalyze, which is a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
But I need to kind of just kind of let things be and uh, and rock and roll with it and kind
Yeah.
of let it go. I think sometimes we get stuck in that where you stress the things that you can't change and it ends up distracting you from what's most important. So that's my goal is to not let that affect me so much and just take it in stride.
I like it you said that, Dylan, because I struggle with that. Well, one of the biggest battles that I had to, face internally, right here and mentally is man, dude, I overthink a lot too. But part of that is with me, my issue is letting go of the things that I cannot control and focus on the
Hmm.
things that I can control, right? In the moment, it's hard to do. Even though my mind, I'll tell myself, okay, Slimco, let it go. You can't control it. Just let it be. Focus on what you can, right? In the moment, it's hard, but I talk
Yeah,
myself into it. Sometimes I can't talk myself into it, right? But yeah, it's I feel you on that, bro. I really do. It's
I think a lot of us are a little bit of a perfectionist, right? Especially
yeah,
any kind of sport, hobby, craft of any kind, whether it's your business, your hobby, whatever it is. I think a lot of us share that where we want to be the best we can be at all times. And so for me, I'll overthink what went well, what went wrong, what can I do better next. And there's a healthy level of that. But I will break it down to a point where it's like the woulda, coulda, shoulda, and that's where you've gone too far.
yeah. No,
So
100%.
it needs to be the next time. The next time we're gonna be more prepared. We're gonna have this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna approach it this way. Here's the plan, and turn that energy into proactive planning. And that's how I've been able to kind of overcome it is to just sit down and say, all right, cool. Here's where we were. Here's where we're going, and just leave it at that.
Yeah. And let it come to you, right? I feel like throughout this beautiful journey of life I've had, if I force the issue to achieve something I want to do, because you could force it to achieve it sooner than rather than letting it just happen naturally, it's not the same. It's not the same satisfaction. It's not the same result. It's yeah. I like things to happen the way it's meant to happen, right? And yeah, let the chips fall where they may, because can't do nothing about it anyway. And that goes along with saying, let it go. You can't control what you can't control, right? So yeah, it's yeah, man, absolutely. So let me ask you this, bro. Tell us something we don't know about you at all.
Man, got to narrow it down. Give me an area.
Um, let's say growing up, you wanted to be a rock star, or I don't like broccoli, or yeah, so, yeah, just something, just anything. We don't know about you, Dylan. We know you're a legend at the sport. We know you're a coach. You're a freaking amazing human being, and not only that, you're a proper mega friend to me, right? So we know all that positive about you, but just tell us something we don't know about you at all.
Oh, we got to save it. Let me think about it.
Okay, I'll come back to that. Let me ask you this: what are your racing goals? What do you want to achieve in this sport?
Short term, long term,
Both.
both. Short term, man. Honestly, it's to learn the thousand, figure it out, adapt to the bike, and get comfortable on it. I've had fun. I've made progress on it. I think I'm every single time I ride it, I feel a little bit better. We find something with the setup or with my riding style, things that I can do, change things, differently. We ended up kind of mid pack, right around 20th, I think was my best so far. But I think if I can qualify better and get it figured out on Friday instead of Sunday morning, you know what I mean? And that's been my biggest challenge. So I think as far as a short term goal, I'm not even worried about necessarily where we finish. I just want to get acclimated and up to speed earlier on Friday, maybe Saturday morning, whatever it might be. Um, and so that way, when it comes race time, I may have learned something in between that during the race, I dropped 3 seconds, right? 3 seconds. I mean, but that's I should be
That's
doing that on Friday,
yeah.
right? So, but I get into that race mode, that race mentality when the flag drops and all the pace comes right out. So, but I think if I started a little bit farther forward and started off on the right foot, I can latch on and get in with that next pack forward, and maybe we'll see a top 15. We'll see. Long term goal, farther, farther up the grid. You know what I mean? A little bit here and there, every step of the way. Keep making progress. Keep learning things. Stay safe. Um, keep my health together, and let's just keep doing this as long as we can.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Every time you go out, you just have fun and progress. That's the whole thing. Every time you make that little step, a little step. I know what helped me when I first started was try not to force it so much, right? Like get lost in all these changes, change the front, change the rear, do that, right? Learn to ride the bike the way it is, and
Hmm.
then change yourself to adapt to the bike instead of trying to adapt the bike so much to me, if that makes sense, right?
Hmm.
Of course, you still got to do that too, but that comes later on, right? You got to learn the craft pretty much, and not get so lost in. It's easy now. Back then, we just had rebound, compression, sag, and blah 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 blah. Now you got engine control, braking control, anti wheelie, auto blip, blah blah blah. It does basically you just sit on and go like this, and it does everything, right? It's yeah, and then you got the laptops doing all this. I come back in the carbureted days, right? We pull the carbs off and rejet them and put them back on and all that fun stuff. Yeah.
Oh man.
But that was also the beauty of it too. It's I was excited for the fuel injector to come into our game, right? At a good level to where it was easy to adjust. You buy a power commander, you throw it on, take it to a dyno, they buy. There you go. Now we got the auto tuners and all that. It does it automatically for you. So
Dude, it's crazy how complex these bikes are now. Like mine's not even to the at the pinnacle of what can be done, but watching some of these superbike teams go through and adjust a trillion different variables to get that outcome. It's crazy. It's crazy. You know, what a polar opposite to a carbureted dirt bike with some street tires on
Facts.
it. You know what I
Facts,
mean?
right? I do, but I like the old carbureted bikes, man. That raw, it's just raw. It's a raw bike, right? It's
Hmm.
yeah,
It's
man.
pure. It's
It
pure.
it is. It's like you got throttle cables. I don't have a little cable that goes to a servo motor that tells my ECU, that tells my butterflies half open, half closed. Oh, these two a quarter, these two this and that, and blah blah. And then go in and do all this. It's like, oh, you're giving me a headache. I just want to ride. That's all I want to
Very,
do, right?
very direct connection with the
But
machine.
yes, one
Yeah.
hundred 10%, man. You got any tattoos, bro?
I have one, and I bet you either have this sticker somewhere or you know somebody who does. I was 21 and I was like, dude, gotta get it.
Gotta get it. Love it, bro. Yeah, we all know that one. 100%. Yes, yes. It's a sweet tattoo, man.
Oh, nah. I at the time, man, I was all about it. So I gotta keep that energy.
Yeah, dude. I got two tattoos that I wish I wouldn't have done. I'm gonna get them covered up, but everybody knows I'm a tattoo guy. So I got, of course, my favorite Ducati, and then my man Marco Simic. I actually got this when Marco died. So I don't often tell this story, but I actually met Marco '08 downtown Indy at a Brazilian restaurant. We was in there eating, bro, and I walk in and I was like, "You got to be fucking kidding me right now, Marco Simicelli? What?" So I'm in there and I'm just my dad's like, "Why are you eating so fast?" I was like, "Bro, you know who that is?" He's like, "I have no idea." I was like, "Well, I'll be outside. Just give me a minute, right?" So I go outside and I wait. Marco comes out and I'm fanboy, dude. I'm a fan, right? I'm like, Mark, dude, I'm a huge fan, blah, blah, blah. I start saying all this. And dude, he was the coolest cat, dude. He threw his arm around me, took a picture with me. And right after that, he says, "What are you doing right now?" I was like, "Well, my family's in there eating. I just got done. So I come out here and meet you." I'm not not even gonna lie. Like when I walked in the restaurant, I was like, I didn't know how to act. Like I didn't know what to do, right? He's like, "Well, we're gonna walk back to the hotel. You want to walk with me?" And I was like, "Yeah." So I text my dad. I'm like, "Hey, I'll meet you guys back at the hotel." So me and Marco and two of his teammates, man, we're walk back to his hotel and do fist pound. Next day at the track, bro, I see him. I was like, "Marco," dude. He comes straight up to me and gives me a big ol' hug. Mind blown, bro. I went to every MotoGP race at Indy except for the last year, all the way up till 2011, an unfortunate event, right? So '08,
Wow.
'09, 10, and 11, those years that I went, I seen Marco, dude. He would always come up to me, pull me out of the crowd, give me a big old hug, dude. It was just, it's hard to talk about sometimes because it's so surreal, right? Um, so when he passed away, yeah, I had to get my man Marco on my arm. So,
Man, that's awesome. That's a cool story too.
dude, it was another real quick story I'm gonna tell. So I was real big into like autographs and pictures, right? Like all fan boys and girls are, right? So I made it a point. I said, okay, I'm getting every picture, every autograph from everybody. I could not stand Jorge Lorenzo because of the rivalry between him and Rossi, right? Let's just be honest. So I'm walking by the medical, and here comes Jorge with his manager on the back. So I run over there. I'm like, "Hey, Jorge, let me get a picture," right? And he walks in the medical. So I talked to I guess this is his manager, his friend, boyfriend. I don't know who it was, right? Some guy on the back of the scooter, right? Could have been his boyfriend. I don't know. It's funny. We never seen Jorge with any chicks at all, even on social media. I'm just saying, just putting it out there. Anyway, um, so I'm sitting there talking to the guy, and he's looking at me with like kind of like this hatred. I had my Valentino hat and my shirt on, right? He says, "Why you want a picture of Jorge when you're a Valentino Rossi fan?" I had to think of something real quick, right? I said, "Well, actually, my dad's a huge Rossi fan. This is my first time here. I'm actually a fan of Lorenzo's, but my dad bought me this, so I figure, since he bought it for me, I'd wear it this weekend." He says, "I tell you what, if you take your shirt and your hat off, I'll get Lorenzo to take a picture with you." I was like, "Okay, deal." So I got a picture of Jorge Lorenzo with my shirt off and my Rossi hat off, dude. So that's how that happened right there. So
uh,
yeah, man. Yeah, the stuff we'll do for a freaking picture, right? And then, dude, funny, real quick, I seen Chris Vermeulen, and I was like, "Chris, dude, I'm a huge fan." Dude, he looks at me, he says, well, I think you're the only one here, mate. And I was like, what are you talking about, dude? There's plenty of people that love you. I guess he was down and no self confidence. I was like, bro, you're the man. Blah blah blah. I gave him a big old hug. I didn't even. Yeah, I did get a picture with him. He had his bucket hat on, that blue vermilion bucket hat. Yeah. So yeah, man, I got a lot of stories like that, bro. We'll have to sit down and I'll tell you about them. I'll save that off the podcast. But yeah, man, it's yeah, everybody knows, dude. I listen to a lot of audiobooks because obviously when I go to the races or I'm at work, it's either a podcast, I'll throw a book in my ear or whatever. Is that something you do too as well? Audiobooks and podcast?
Yeah.
What audiobook are you currently listening to right now?
I don't have anything right now, but I will listen to obviously the Joe Rogan podcast. I'll listen to Lex Friedman,
Yeah.
a couple other ones. I like to read all kinds of different books. I think the last most influential book that I read, don't judge me, I got to pull it up. It was a Dale Carnegie book that I picked up. Um, but I want to expand my library, man. You got to send me some titles, things to check out.
I'll do for sure, man. Becky, what is up, Becky? She says he has to do audiobooks. He can't read. I love it.
Hey,
You're awesome, Becky.
What would it be if Becky wasn't roasting me
Bro, I love it, dude. That's what I love
every
about our
time I see
sport,
her?
man. I love it. You keep it up, Becky. You're doing a proper mega job. Cheers to you. Absolutely. I'm actually listening to the book that I'm currently listening to is Change Your Mind, Change Your Diet, or Change Your Diet, Change Your Mind. In
Okay.
in one of those orders. I listen to all kinds of books. One of the best books that I've listened to is John Hopkins Leathered. If you have not listened to that, dude, you got to listen to that book. I got a lot of also motivational books, dude. I'll send you a good list. As far as podcast goes, of course, Joe Rogan's a staple. Lex Friedman. I listen
You
to
know my
Donnie.
you know my favorite one is
Better be Pin the Gas.
Pin the Gas
That's
podcast.
right. Let's go. No, thank you so much. But Danny Jones is a good one. Diary of a CEO is another good one I listen to. Of course, Theo Vaughn. Man, I listen to a bunch of different podcasts.
You ever listen to Jocko?
Yeah, dude, Jocko Wilkins. Of course, I listen to him, man.
He's got some cool stories. I like
He
listening to that
does.
dude.
And my man, David Goggins, bro. Like he's a staple
Who's gonna
too.
carry the boat?
Bro, who's gonna carry that? When I heard that book, bro, I was like, that audio book, by the way, if you ain't heard it, man, you guys got need to go back and listen to his first audio book. It is so good because they'll do an audio chapter and then him and the guy doing his reading his audiobook, talking, the voice of the audiobook, that he'll sit down with him and break down that chapter after each chapter, and then it goes, dude. So it's yeah, man. Becky Meyer says Theo Vaughn. Yeah, Theo's absolutely awesome. So
Yeah, hilarious.
yeah. Um, when you show up to a new track, how do you usually learn it? Do you watch YouTube videos, play PlayStation?
Yeah, man. So, pretty much before any race weekend, the weeks and months prior, depending on what time of the year it is, I'm watching as many videos as I possibly can, first person, third person. I'll watch like past races. I'll just try to consume as much as I physically can in preparation prior to going there. I'll look at track maps. I'll study different things, about like the elevation differences and like how's the camber. I mean, seriously, like it gets to a point where, you know, when I show up there, obviously it's never the same as how it looks in a video, but at least I know kind of which way it goes, what I can expect, things like that. And then, you do the track walk and get a lay of the land, see how it goes. And it's always different walking it than it is riding it too.
Yep.
So I always try to take advantage of that. And then I play a lot of, especially in the wintertime, I'll do a lot of sim racing. So if I can pull the track up in the sim, I'll do countless laps in that. And yeah, man, just kind of let it rip.
Let it rip. I love it. Becky said you should do the trainer at the power sports store.
I have. It's a lot of fun.
Is
I'll
it?
tell you what though, the one thing, my only complaint with that, it's really, really fun. It's really cool, but the screen stays in the same spot. So if I'm making a turn, the screen's still up here. So I'm like, look in the back.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, You know what the $1 million idea is? You got to get VR involved in that thing, some kind of headset. Wouldn't that be sick?
Bro, that would be, yeah, absolutely sick, dude. VR, yeah. But my son's got two VR headsets, so I would absolutely. Have you ever played VR, dude? For real?
I have. Yeah, it's awesome. I
I
tell you what,
remember
though, before we get too far off that power sports store, um, Les, you ever met him?
Les. No, I don't think so.
Mascarello?
No,
Dude, you should get him on the pod. Talk to
let's
Les.
get it.
He's a solid dude too. He's got a Triumph dealer in Cincinnati, and he loves the sport. He raced back in the day. Shows up to the event, brings parts, spares, tools, you name it. Super helping hand, very inclusive. Tries to get everybody involved. I mean, he is like the epitome of the guy that doesn't do it for the money, owning the shop and doing all that stuff. He does it because he loves it, and it's so cool to see a local shop that actually cares about street motorcycles and racing. So if you're in the Cincinnati area, check them out. They're in kind of like the Sharonville area, and tell them I said hey for sure.
What's his last name?
Mascarello, I'll send it to you. I'll text
Yeah,
it to you.
yeah, yeah. Just text to me. I'll reach out to him. I'll get him on for sure. Yeah, man. Bro, if you could travel back to any era of time, where would you travel back to?
Oh man. Well, from a road racing standpoint, I've heard the stories about what club days were like, club racing was like back in the early 2000s.
When you were making a living?
Dude, I had to quit my job in a heartbeat.
Heartbeat, straight up.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like I mean every decade, 80s, 90s, 2000s, they all had their ups and their downs and the positives and negatives, but yeah, I think that would have been pretty sweet watching, especially some of our idols and the greats coming up throughout the ranks and just watching that progression, and yeah, that'd have been sweet.
Oh yeah, for sure. Absolutely, man. Yeah. Are you superstition? Do you have any like superstitions before you prepare for battle as far as like left boot on before my right boot, 10-year-old underwear, socks inside out, anything crazy like that?
Dude, I like to nap.
Do you really?
Yeah. And my friends give me shit about it all the time. They're like, "What are you doing, dude? Get up. Like get amped up. Like rock and roll." I'm like, "Listen, I will wake up from a nap 10 minutes before a race and I will go faster than anything any other time." And I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but like I just chill out. I get into my little flow state. I'm not a big like chest thumping like let's get after it kind of racer. Like I like to be surgical and kind of, break it down and cut it into pieces, and you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
It does.
But I
Absolutely, it does.
but I think that chill out, that's for me, that's my thing. But no, I don't wear the same socks.
I was gonna say socks inside out. My buddy Nolan Lampkin, another legend. When I had him on, I asked him that. He's like, "Yeah, I wear my socks inside out. You should try it." And I was like, "Okay." And no bullshit. Ever since I did that, I wear my socks inside out. It's when you wear them normally, where they sew it, you get that little thing in the front. Your toes hit it, right?
Hmm.
When you wear them inside out, guess what? You don't have that. So,
I'll tell you what, for you and Nolan, next time I'm on track, I'll try it. I'll
dude,
let you know how
try
it
it.
goes.
Yes, yeah, definitely. Text me,
Maybe
like
that's the secret. Maybe that's the thing.
maybe
Might
it
break it.
is. Absolutely. You never know, right? Absolutely. What advice would you give your younger self?
Oh man. Um, what advice would I give my younger self? Focus on the important things and don't stress what you can't change. I mean, that I think that's kind of rang through something somebody told me a really long time ago, one of my good friends, um, and I've held on to that for life. So I would have maybe I just would have told myself a little bit earlier. I think also like live in the moment, man. Like nothing is guaranteed, and you can't take anything for granted. So the time that you have with your friends, the time that you have with your family, stuff can change, and that opportunity is not always going to be there. So make the most of it. Don't let it go to
Yeah,
waste.
yeah, I'm a big advocate of taking whatever 5 minutes, 30 seconds, and just living in the moment every day. It's easier said than done. Sometimes I don't do it all the time, but I try to remind myself every day. Hey, just stop doing what you're doing, take a deep breath, look around, and enjoy it. Right. So yeah, man, life's too fast, and time's such a thief, bro. So
Seriously, so
yeah,
true.
something you can't stop, rewind, pause, or any of that. L- let me ask you this: what changes would you like to see in the sport, in your opinion, to help it grow?
Well, this is another controversial topic, right? Because I think it needs to be more accessible. Um, but I also recognize that racing will never be inexpensive. So, but how do we make it accessible to more people? Um, I think that it needs to start at a lower level, where it's more available to younger kids. Make it cheaper on the dads, get them involved, and try to offset the costs as much as possible. Whether that's sharing equipment, teaming up, with some buddies, whatever it takes to do it and get involved, and not make it purely about who's got the bigger paycheck. I think spec racing is sick. I really enjoy stock thousand. Um, for the most part, that most bikes are pretty similar. Obviously, there's some outliers, but that kind of thing, like I don't know if you ever watched like Spec Miata,
Hmm.
but it kind of gives me the same vibe where it's like it's not necessarily who can build a prototype billion gajillion dollar bike. It's more to do with the rider and his preparation and the exchanges and maybe the strategy. Maybe it's the teamwork. What's your crew doing to help support? You know, Maybe it's not the rocket ship that makes the difference. Like that kind of thing. I think we need more of that. And I recognize that we want to align with organizations overseas, and we want to be more like Europe and adopt the same kind of classes, so that way that there can be some sort of transition. We can get somebody from the states into the premier class, but I just don't think that if we limit it to the same 10 guys, the same 20 guys, the same whatever, think about how many more people out there that, if given the opportunity, maybe, have that talent or that ability or just um, you know, the drive to be successful and do the thing. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, I agree with you. We need to find a way to cut costs back some. I always know it's going to be expensive. I'd love to see them bring tire wars back in, not just one spec tire. I mean, I see the pluses of having a spec tire, but I'm just not a fan of having a spec tire and then charging up team amount of money for a set of tires. Or if you brought tire wars back into it, as you club race maybe on one set of tires. When you go to Moto America, of course you gotta run their Dunlops, right? So I
Yeah.
think that would help lower the cost of tires. Plus, it would give more people in the backfield that wanted that dream to be on that top step a chance to pick up other sponsorships like a tire sponsorship. It may not be free, but be like, hey, if you place in the top 15, we'll give you a free set of tires, or something $250 for a set of tires, or whatever it is.
You
Um,
know what it comes down to, Chris? I think what I would like to see at the root of everything is more marketing.
yeah,
Because because if you don't get the kids involved young, somebody that's never seen or been exposed to motorcycles is not going to show up to Mid Ohio to watch a race because they don't know what it is. They don't care. But the more that they have done it, it's kind of like baseball, basketball, football. If you played as a kid, you're how much more likely are you that you're going to go to a pro event and buy tickets and be a fan and get into that kind of realm of things. Like, but with that, so you get the kids involved at a younger age, and let's get it back on TV. Like, let's get it back, blast it across socials. How do we get it on the local news? Like, let people know that this stuff's going on and that it's happening, and draw the crowds, because the crowds are what are going to pay for the contingency and the sponsor dollars and XYZ. Like, what that strategy looks like overall, I'm not sure. I just know that I feel like is the key. So we just got to get more people involved.
Yeah, I think another big missed opportunity is, starts with our local dealerships, bro. Like you walk in the dealership, you don't see shit about Moto America, track days, SFL Mini GP, none of that. They're worried about how many units they're going to sell that month and blah, 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 right? But imagine you walk in there
Side
and
by sides.
dude, whatever it is, right? Freaking, but imagine if you went to your local dealership and there's signs up for Wear and Azra and Precision Track Days, and hey, we got an event coming up, Moto America, August 1st through the 3rd at VIR. You guys come check it out. We got tickets here available. Stuff like that. Like when people walk in the door, dude, that's just a missed opportunity to help the
Do you
sport
remember?
grow.
Do you remember when club racing was a spectator event where people
Yeah,
would actually like show up and come watch?
yep,
That was a thing.
that was a thing. Where'd it
You
go?
don't. No one talks about it. No one
Nobody.
puts it out there. I mean, put it in the newspaper. Put it in
Yep,
everywhere. I mean, like you said, man, the dealership's where it starts, and that's where you're gonna get the foot traffic. So,
100%.
yeah, I would encourage. It's as simple as a flyer, man. Print it out. Put it on the wall. Something.
Simple as open your mouth. Say, hey, you guys ever heard of SFL Mini GP? How would you like to take your 7-year-old kid out there on the track and put him in a suit and let him rip? Right? It's
Yeah.
yeah, man. There's many ideas I have that I see missed opportunities to grow. Example, we was Atlanta, Moto America. I stay with my buddies 20 minutes from the track. Lunchtime, not a lot of stuff going on. He's like, hey man, when you come down, I'll take you to this pizza joint down the street right from the track. It's kind of like Blaze Pizza that we have here. Um, so we walk in there. I got my pink pin the gas shirt on, and the guy looks at me. He says, "Did you catch any fish today?" And I look like this. I'm like, "You talking to me?" He's like, "Yeah. Did you catch any fish today?" I was like, "Nah, man. I'm at the right Atlanta for the Moto America races." And he's like, "What's Moto America?" And I'm like, "See, this is the issue, Richard. We got people that live 10 minutes from the track that have no idea that Moto America is even racing 10 minutes down the road, literally right down this same street, right?
Yeah.
We need to change that. We need to change it.
Have you been following? I'm sure Cletus McFarland doing his ARCA stuff.
Yep.
We need that kind of thing.
Yep.
The amount of people that follow him that probably didn't know that ARCA. I didn't, dude. I'll be honest with you. I like motorsports. Like I would say I'm a pretty avid motorsports fan. I had no idea that ARCA was a thing. I thought that NASCAR, like big NASCAR, was the only thing. But without him doing videos and getting you kind of behind the scenes and involved in that kind of stuff, and you know, I would have had no idea. So maybe that's the key for Moto America is we need somebody who's gonna bring some visibility, bring some social media stuff that's beyond a super cool slow mo reel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Bring some personality.
Nah,
So I challenge anyone and everyone, as many people as possible. Put it out there. Tell your friends. Tell their friends. Tell those friends' friends.
I mean, one of my things when I go to Moto America, like this weekend club racing, my buddy ain't never been. I'm like, dude, it's not Moto America, but it's club racing. Come on, I'm gonna bring them with me, right? It's just the way in. Then VR's August 1st through the 3rd. Let's go. I
Hmm.
like to bring new people to the track that's never been, even though you might have watched it on TV or they see it on Facebook or, like you said, the reels on YouTube or whatever. But when you're there, you smell it, you feel the energy, that race fuel, the laughter, the love that goes around, dude. You're hooked, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of things, and this brings me to my plug for SFL Mini GP. This is what I love about SFL Mini GP. Not only is a lot of the future legends of our sports coming out of there, like Rodeo, Posh. You got Avery the Lap Slayer, Isaac Woodworth, Ella Dreyer, Julian Carrera. I mean, the list goes on, all solely because of SFL Mini GP. So I'm gonna do a plug right now. So SFL Mini GP, you guys go to miniusasbk.com, sign up, you register, you just show up, Dylan. You don't need nothing, no bike, no leathers, no suits, nothing. They provide everything, and you go out there on the track and you ride, right? And then they have bike rentals. Let's say you're in the market maybe for a TTR 125 or you wanted a 150R Honda, right? You
Hmm.
can rent it, go out there and ride it. That's what I love about SFL Mini GP, man. They're absolutely amazing human beings too. Have you been down to Florida to ride with them or Jersey?
Man, I haven't, but I really want to. Really want to. I rode with OMRL and Circus Bear and Bluegrass Mini Moto, but never South Florida, man. I'll definitely have to put that on the list of things to try out for
Yeah,
sure.
man. I'll meet you down there. I'm gonna go down there and yeah, we'll go down there have fun on the weekend. Of course, you're gonna blow my doors off, but I'm gonna go out there and just laugh and giggle underneath my helmet like I always do anyway. So we'll have
Hey,
a
we'll
lot of
bang
fun.
We'll bang bars and tailgate and have a good time, man. It's gonna be
Yes,
sick.
we will. That's what it is. Well, listen, man, dude, we're an hour and 30 into this podcast. I told you to go back. I didn't even plan on doing an hour 30, but here we are. Listen, I got two more questions I'm going to ask you. I'm going to save the rest of the personal questions for our part two. Uh, dude, if you could have dinner with any historical figure or any road racer in the world, who would it be? Dead or alive?
Oh man, I want to hang out with Rossi, man.
Who don't, right? Who
Yeah,
don't? Oh, man,
yeah,
excuse me.
definitely in the racer realm. I think that would be a cool conversation. I'd like to know what that must have been like.
First thing I'm gonna ask him is, did you really kick Mark Marquez in 2015 off that bike? Come on, man. It's just me and you. You got to tell me. Oh my God. So last question, and then I'll give all my shout outs, but I'm gonna let you end the podcast. Dude, if money was no object for you, Dylan, and you
Mhm.
wanted to start your own team in Moto America, what class would you race in? What's the manufacturer of bike you would have? And who is the two current riders that race in Moto America that you would put on your bikes?
Oh man, I would do. I would do an NSF 250 class, and I would put Reese Frankenfeld and Eli Banish on those.
Bro, Eli Banish is a beast.
He's getting, you know, he's getting the point now where I think we're gonna have to watch out for him on some of the bigger bikes now. At this point, though, he's been practicing on some bigger motorcycles, so he's gonna be a weapon, dude. I'm excited to see what happens with him.
Me too. And another up and coming legend too is Ryder Davis. Man, he's
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
He's dude. And I finally got to meet Nathan Galker. Big shout out to Nathan. I was walking by Cycle Jam. I looked. I was like, "Shut up, say no more," because me and his dad's been talking back and forth on social media. And I was like, "Nathan, what's up, man? Simcoe from Pin and Gas." And he just looks at me like, "Who the fuck are you?" Right? Like, dude, he's so laid back and like in his zone and in his mode. So I ended up talking to his mom for like 10 minutes. Yeah, it was cool to see him. And then I went out there and watched him and I was like, bro, he is absolutely devastatingly fast. On that little 125, he was handing out humble pie on that circuit the whole day. 110% every time we went out, he had a bag like Santa Claus with pies and his thing, he was just tossing them out. Yeah.
yeah. I love to
Yeah,
see
man.
it, dude. That's and you know, not to circle all the way back, but watching the young guns come up and learn it and love it and crush it, so cool, so sick.
Oh yeah, for sure. Keaton Davis, what is up, Keaton, my man? He says all OMRL riders, by the way. Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, they are.
And then we got dude, another a good buddy of mine too, legend of the sport, Paul McKee. Do you know Paul? Have you met Paul? There he is.
Exposure, exposure, exposure. If it's on the TV, that's absolutely right, man.
Yep,
You got
100%.
to know about it to be interested in it to
Yep.
follow it. So
This is true. This is true. Well, listen, man, it's been an absolute honor to get my man Dylan in the hot seat tonight. But before I let him in the podcast, I got to give all my shout outs. First thing I want to say, you guys hear me say it all the time. Thank you so much for all the love and support. It means so much to me. Without people like Dylan and all my friends that's been on this show, guess what? I wouldn't be able to do this. So it's nothing but love to every single one of you guys and girls out there. You have no idea uh, what it means to me. It really does. It's hard for me not to get emotional a lot of times when I talk about it. So yeah, that's why I just talk about this much. I'm like, oh, thank you guys. Yeah, I don't want to do a snot bubbles coming out to be like, this dude's goofy for real. Yes, I am goofy, right? But anyway, dude, big shout out to Next Level Financial, bisontrack.com for listen, it's 2025 people. Take that off the rack suit, make it a backpack, donate it to one of your friends. Matter of fact, I got a place you guys can donate it to tbexusaexperience.org. They're always looking for suits to get their riders into. Um, Point is, get you a full custom suit. It makes a world of a difference. I mean, it's night and day, right? If you have a suit that don't fit you correctly, it might be tight in your arms, causes arm pumps, won't let you stretch and get that movement you need. It might be loose in the back. Now it's like a parachute when you're going down the front straight and choking, you can't even breathe. So yeah, listen, join the herd, bisontrack.com. Trust me, you'll love it. You guys see my suit all the time hanging up right here. So uh Chef Eats, bro, discount code pin the gas, man. I'm gonna get you some Chef Eats, boy. I need everybody asks me, Dylan, all the time about my soft shell jacket and my beanies. Here you go. Clothingkings.co.uk. You guys can go to that website and get all your Pin to Gas merch. When you get to the website, it's called Partnership. Scroll down. There you go. You can get pretty much anything you want, purses, all that. They got all kinds of stuff. Um, Big shout out to TST Industries in Florida, SFO Mini GP, Mini USA, SBK.com. People go join and sign up. Big shout out to RD Racing and my man Jake Marsh out there in the UK. Vet2 Track for all my veterans. My man Jim Whitman has an amazing program called Vet2 Track. His whole motto is curing PTSD one lap at a time. You see my puppy Princess Fiona getting up in the picture right now. Yeah, absolutely amazing. Vet2track.com. Flying Eyes Optics for all your sunglass needs. You guys can use the discount code Pin the Gas, save 10%. Dude, Dylan, one thing I'm a big advocate of, and I tell everybody all the time, do not go to a track day, a club race, a weekend endurance race with just one undersuit. Bring multiple undersuits. Bring more undersuits than you bring underwear and any other clothes, because you can always wear it home, right? Like, he laughing. We all been in this situation. So big shout out to 64 Degree Racing. Tate is absolutely amazing. It is my favorite two-piece undersuit. I'm in love with this undersuit. Um, you guys can also, so big shout out to them. Venom Sport. Hang on, I grabbed the wrong thing right now. So venomsport.com. You guys can go there and get undersuits too. She is absolutely amazing. I'm not waiting on it because I ain't ordered it yet, but I got one that I'm gonna order and got coming. Big shit out to her. She actually sent me this custom podcast shirt, man. To be honest with you, it's my favorite shirt, man. It's so light, so breathable, and it's 100 degrees in here right now. So it's perfect, right? So big shout out to Venom. You guys can go to venomsport.com. Also, if all my friends out there on the West Coast, you guys can go to tippinracing.com. Email them at racer411 at race/cra.com. Sign up for the program. They're always at the track. Well, that's my personal note. But anyway, they're always at the track. This is the website right here. I'll put it down in below on the comments. Dude, they bring chains and Sprock, man. It's an awesome program. If you're out there on the West Coast, sign up, join in. They're always there at the track. I need right now everybody to go to roadracingworld.com and donate to the air fence. It's imperative that we have those air fences. If we don't have air fences, guess what? Nobody's showing up to the track and nobody's not having any fun. $5, $10, $50, whatever it is, it all helps. And if you're lucky and fortunate, you show up to there where they have I'm gonna beat this dog for you. Got another pair of my shoes. Now I ain't got no shoelaces, right? So let's go. Puppy love, right there it is. If you end up showing up to Moto America and Chris Ulrich is there with his 2-up ride, I think the minimum donation is $350. Do you get a 2-up ride with the legend Chris Ulrich? That's something I always wanted to do, and I'm gonna make it happen, right? Big shout out to all the corner marshal workers too out there, man. We love you guys and girls for doing what you do. Again, if we didn't have you, we wouldn't be going to the track doing track days or racing. So big shout out to all the corner marshal workers. BTR, big shout out to BTR, Bill Train Race. Everybody knows I'm a huge fan of their KYT helmets, K-Tech suspension, my man Birch, Takari, and Kendall and Gil. Let's go. Ghetto Customs for all your custom body work. I got 3 friends that make graphics. You're not going to go wrong by ordering anything, any graphics from any 3 of my friends' companies. Man, I had a difficult time talking there for a second. Dripping Wet, REB Graphics, and GRG Graphics, which is Gus Redder. Yeah, there you go. Big shout out to Woodcraft, Mark 10 Motorsports, Free Hug Racing, Nicole Polyich Photography, Stick Boy, Adrenaline Engineering, Pit Lane Moto, TBEX, USAExperience.org. Listen, if you guys know anybody or have anybody, any friends had any unfortunate accidents that don't think they can ever get on a bike again because they might be missing a limb or paralyzed from the waist down or whatever, listen, I need you guys to go to the website, TBEXUSAExperience.org. what they do is they get you back out there. They get you on the bike. It's absolutely possible. So if you know anybody, send them to that website. If you're not sure, hit me up personally. I'll send you in that right direction. But yeah, man, listen, this has been a lot of fun. Dylan, tell everybody where they can find you on socials, where they can buy that merch, if you have any, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, man, check me out. Instagram, Facebook, Dylan Yelton underscore. Um, and real quick, myself, man, just want to give another big shout out to the companies that helped me make my season possible as well. So
Absolutely.
GP Motor Sales, Doug Simpson. Again, man, super awesome dude. Very passionate about the sport. Again, kind of made it all possible this season, especially um, and Apex Construction, LNS Automotive, Revolt Auto Paint. Those guys put together an awesome paint job for the bike. It looks absolutely fantastic. REB, as you mentioned, did the graphics. Sparkles like a dream. Looks incredible. Dream Wraps helped me put it on. Vortex got some great hard parts. STG hooking me up with the spares. We got kind of a big deal, and Cherokee Custom Coatings coming in big time as well with the support. Those are some local guys as well who offer some great products and services. Check them out if you get the opportunity. Fastline Track Days for giving me opportunity to coach and ride. KYT Americas keeping my head safe. Jeff with Schuerman Fitness keeping me in the gym, keeping at it. And Patronics, man. Dennis over there has been a mentor for me and has been helping out just with kind of the whole networking thing. So if you need any help with your business needs and or payment processing, Patronics is your guy to go to. Check him out as well.
I love it, man. Great shout outs, man. Absolutely. Well, listen, Dylan, bro, it's been an absolute honor. Been a lot of fun. It's hour and 41 minutes. Let's go, right? It only seems like it was like 15 minutes we've been talking. It's
We
crazy.
just we just started, man. We just started.
Facts, dude. Facts. So you guys listen, if you guys missed this at the beginning, as soon as I end this, you can go to my YouTube or my personal Facebook page and rewatch it. If not, it'll be out everywhere tomorrow. I'll put it on social medias and all that good stuff. So yeah, listen, I'll be at VR this weekend. I hope to see every single one of you there. And I don't know, maybe not. So yeah, if not, I have a podcast Friday that I'm actually doing live at VIR. So when I mean live, I'll be sitting in my car with the AC on doing a podcast. That's what I mean. So yeah, you guys will see me tomorrow at 3 p.m. too as well. So yeah, listen, again, thank you guys so much for all the love and support. If you had not had the chance, hit the bell, the cowbell, the ding ding, the ding dong, all that good stuff. You guys know the deal in the routine. I like it. So yeah, all of it. Just do all of it. And man, I appreciate and love every single one of you guys and girls. And until then, listen, it's been an absolute honor to have Dylan on the podcast tonight. Dylan, my friend, last thing I'm gonna say before I hit the end. Whatever vision and dreams you have in this sport that you want to achieve, bro, I hope you achieve it 10 times over. And in this short lifetime that we're in, it's an honor to call you my friend.
Hey, likewise, Chris, dude. I
Yep.
appreciate it. It's a pleasure having. Thanks for having me on, man. It's been good.
Honor's all mine. And on that note, we are out of here. See you
All right.
guys. All right, just stay on with me for 1 second. Let me end.
Calling all two-wheel enthusiasts, get ready to rev up your earbuds with Pin the Gas Podcast, the ultimate motorcycle racing podcast, hosted by Chris Simcoe, one of our very own excellent leaders here in Roanoke, Virginia. With expert analysis, behind-the-scenes stories, and exclusive writer interviews, Pin the Gas Podcast delivers the adrenaline rush of the racetrack straight to your ears. Whether you're a diehard fan or a curious newcomer, you'll gain insights that will transform how you watch and understand motorcycle racing. On your favorite podcast app, join Simcoe as he takes you on a high-speed journey through the world of motorcycle racing. Pin the Gas Podcast.